for a lot of you who've been paying attention to what's been going on today, this is clearly a watershed moment, because now you're starting to see the propaganda really propagate all over social media. Was this guy a right winger? Is he from a prominent fit? Who gives a fuck? None of this stuff means anything.
Such a distraction.
It's just a distraction, waste of time. And
give us fucking healthcare.
This is what matters.
Basic.
I don't know the name. Frankly, I don't give a fuck what this guy's name is, because I don't even think it's that important. But this is the replacement CEO of UnitedHealth, and here's what he had to say.
He's a little Voldemort-y.
Yeah, yes, he said this yesterday.
Sure, everybody has been disturbed by the amount of negative and
just the fact that he has the British accent right off the bat proves
and
that
he's talking about our healthcare system.
Yeah, totally. For a guy who literally grew up with a universal healthcare system, who came here to make his riches off of our backs.
And he does bald men poorly.
Just in many cases, vitriolic media and commentary that has been produced over the last few days, particularly in the social media environment. And I want to reassure you of a few things. Firstly, we are going to continue to make sure that we put patients, consumers, and members first, as we always have done.
Okay.
The mission of this company.
In what universe have they ever done that? I mean, the same information where he's saying all these vile statements are also showing that United has the absolute worst percentage in terms of claims denials. So where does he, like, that he can say this with a straight face, this person that is clearly from somewhere that has healthcare? Like,
that's what makes it worse.
No, it makes no matter where he's from with that accent, he comes from somewhere that has healthcare. So this is just really infuriating.
Certainly sounds like a Bond villain, that's for sure.
The company is truly to make sure that we help the system improve by helping the experience for individuals get better and better. There was nobody who did more to try and advance that mission than Brian Thompson. And there are very few people in the history of the U.S. healthcare industry who had a
all right, right there. So that's it. The fact that that's a phrase, the healthcare industry is like case in point why we have this problem. This guy's horrible. He's like a bad combination of like Rick Scott and Patrick Stewart.
He's not done yet.
Healthcare than Brian. And we are going to make sure that we not only acknowledge and honor that legacy of Brian, but we'll continue it. Oh. Our role is a critical role, and we make sure that care is safe, appropriate, and it's delivered when people need it. And we guard against the pressures that exist for unsafe care or for unnecessary care to be delivered in a way.
I hope people know where this motherfucker lives.
Unnecessary care, Jen. Unnecessary care.
I am so irate. This guy is just so disgusting. He's doubling down after what we've just seen across the internet with where people are on this. And he's actually sitting there with a straight face saying, we're going to continue Brian's great legacy of what? Of mass murder?
Way which makes the whole system too complex and ultimately unsustainable. So we're going to continue to make that case. We will continue to do the work we do. And I have never been more proud of this company and our colleagues and what this company does on behalf of people in need across the country.
Keep going, man. Just keep going and keep putting your face out there. Because up until now, nobody knew who he was.
That critical noise that we're hearing right now. It does not reflect reality. It is simply a sign of an era in which we live. What we must do is focus on what we know to be true. And what we know to be true is that the health system needs a company like UnitedHealth Group, and it needs people like Brian within it. We're fortunate that within this company, we have so many people driven and inspired in the same way that Brian was. And we will continue in our journey to help everybody who needs it within the health environment.
Who is this guy? Like, what's his name? Because up until now, like, I would have never known who that was. And now, as far as I'm concerned, he's just put a target on himself. Who is that?
Guys, place his name in the chat, please. I totally forgot his
because
name.
That's the kind of thing where this guy was able to sort of stay under the radar. Nobody probably would have known who that was. Most people had no idea who Brian Thompson was.
Thank you, Colin. So, sir, excuse me, Jen. He is knighted.
Oh,
Sir Andrew Philip Whitty, Chief Executive Officer, now Chief Executive Officer of UnitedHealth Group, was the CEO of GlaxoSmithKline, because of course he was.
Yeah. Thank you for making yourself known and adding yourself to now what will be memes and lists and all sorts of stuff that whereas nobody would have known who you were. So thank you for that. Exactly. If he was knighted, what did he have to do for that?
So Bill Burr has something to say about the way this particular issue has been covered and is being covered.
Me about this kid who killed this CEO is none of these news programs are talking about the incredible lack of empathy from the general public about this because of how these insurance companies treat people when they're at their most vulnerable, after we've all given them our money every fucking month, and now we finally need you, and all you do is deny us. And then these pussies and all of these things are taking the pictures of their CEOs off their websites. You know, I got to be honest with you, okay?
Before I continue, I just have to say, it is such Bill Burr fashion that he says fuck and they miss the bleep. Because
okay, but can I also say before I forget, because I want people to know this, he's right. Like total cowards, they're going to remove all their people from
that's
their
what they're doing, and now they're getting like these fleets of security.
And so let me direct you in the correct direction. Every publicly traded company has what's called a proxy statement, and you can go find their proxy statement, and you could see every single person on their board of directors and everything about them. So they could take it off their websites all they want. Let me direct you to a proxy statement for any of those organizations.
All right. So, Colin, can you put that in the chat, please?
It's a very basic thing to do. And then once you go from there, go down the rabbit hole. But yes. And yes, they're such cowards that he's so proud of their work.
Yeah. Telling me.
Okay. So I'm still like
fucking CEOs are fucking afraid right now. You should be. By and large, you're all a bunch of selfish, greedy fucking pieces of shit. And a lot of you are mass murderers. You just don't pull the trigger. That's why it looks clean. That's why these people look, oh, my God, oh, he was just, you know, walking into a hotel. It's like, okay, but what was his job? What did he do? What was the results of it?
Again, violence begets violence. And when you deny people health care and you have people suffering and dying that is a result of you profiting, that's violence.